Hi Leo, third time's the charm. This is the third time I'm trying to tape this. I think the same thing happened with Capricorn. First my camera cut out, and then one of my kids came in and interrupted me. So your cards are out. These cards are for you, and I'm going to give this a good solid try again. All right, so this is going to be general messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for August 15th through the 31st. I pulled 4 cards here for the week of the 15th, another 4 cards for that last week. These are outcome energies, and these are bottom of the deck energies. These are crowning energies. This is the Black Moon Tarot as a crowning, and this is an advice energy from Wisdom of the Oracle. So let's get right into this. Let's talk about the Sun Spirit card. Beautiful crowning energy for a Leo to get. You guys are ruled by the sun. This is you. This is your fire element, right? This is your ruler. Beautiful. I love it. Okay. This is about, the sun is concerned with the soul, right? Or the outward aspects of the self and renewed vitality after the dark night of the soul encountered under the moon, right? So this tells me that a lot of you guys have gone through a period where you were struggling. You were struggling. There was a lot of deep internal struggle, anxiety, for many of you, depression, things that you were dealing with in a very intimate way, intimate space. Okay, I am getting that. Many of you, though, are coming out of this. And I love the sun because this is associated with the sun card in the regular tarot, which illuminates any of the negative cards that might pop up in a spread. Everything is good about the sun here. This is about creativity and you just really being ready to make change and movements in your life. Many of you are going to find yourselves in a space where you're going to be singled out, you know, maybe in a dramatic situation where you have to show your skills in some sort of impromptu way. So because this is a general, you know, message, this could show itself in a bunch of different ways. You having to give a speech or teach a class, or you're in charge of a large group of people, or you're needing to contribute to something or help out in a situation kind of at the last minute, but where you're really, really helpful. And people are just going to be noticing you now. There's a lot of notice going on with the Leo, with the archetype of Leo right now. This is a very progressive, energetic energy, right? Which foretells of beautiful things on the horizon. This does indicate things going your way, but leadership on your part is going to be necessary. So it's really time for you to act on this path, this vision that you see for yourself. Really start being very proactive and in a very pragmatic way, you know, being on this path. Now, I do want to say this, that in the regular tarot, because it is associated with the sun, many years ago, when tarot was much younger than what it is now, the sun was associated with Gemini. It originally had 2 children. I don't know if you could see this because this is kind of cuneiform on this one, but there's like a single person here on this, like cuneiform. There were originally 2 kids on the card. And this is because, you know, the sun is so bright, but then there's always a darker side to it. So there's this duplicitous nature. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because at the beginning of this period that we're talking about, right, on August 15th, we're going to have this full moon at 22 degrees of Aquarius, right? And the Aquarius energy is going to add a little bit of stress and strain to our relationships, especially. We're going to be feeling a lot of relationship stuff over the next couple of weeks. This is where our internal king and queen come out. It's where our ego is driven. It's where we want what we want. We want gifts. We want to be praised. We want to be heard in the way that we want to be heard. But unfortunately, we may not be heard in the way that we're intending. So this is an energy of arguments. You know, it can potentially, actually the arguments would be happening like the 13th into the 14th, kind of getting a little better 15th into the 16th, sort of, okay? But there's definitely this weirdness going on in relationships right now. And it's because the energy is so incredibly amped up, right? We have a bunch of trines going on, and the fact that Mercury is finally coming out of shadow, that actually is very powerful when it comes out of shadow. And it'll be coming out of shadow on like the 15th. So that's what I'm saying. We have a lot of this will, this fire, this energy to move forward, to make the changes. The advice here is to show up and be a leader in your life. But I am getting that under that, a lot of you guys are experiencing some hesitation, right? There is something holding you back, whether it's fear from your past, whether it's that you don't have all the information for everything in front of you. But there's this slight hesitation there of you moving forward full throttle. And then we have the Yang card from Wisdom of the Oracle. So, this is a perfect time for you to act, Leo, for you to easily build momentum and make headway. Because what you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently and you have faith and you not be too focused on looking behind you, okay? Because this card signifies new life, right? And it's a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. And there's no reason to hesitate, right? Because you're really working your own destiny now. And that's not from a Hallmark card. That's for real. Like, the decisions you're making now are really, in a very pragmatic way, creating your future. So the obstacles that I feel like a lot of you guys have been dealing with, walls flying up out of nowhere, having to do with intimate relationships, family issues, things at work, just one thing after another. And look, for walls to pop up, that's a normal part of life. But I am getting for Leo the archetype, and I just do know from a lot of the readings that I've been doing, there's an unusual amount of walls flying up for a lot of people, and Leo is one of those signs. So I do feel like that the season of obstacles for you is coming to an end, and things are just going to be, I'm not going to say lightening up right away, maybe not within this period, but there's definitely going to be this momentum forward where you're not going to feel so held back from these obstacles that are coming up, okay? So let's get started right into the core of the reading, beginning with the 15th. We have the Four of Pentacles reverse. So, this Pentacles does on the most mundane level, as I've said, those of you who've been watching me for a bit, Pentacles is money, but it's also our mental health, our emotional health. It's our moral compass, our moral code, our value system, our ability to support someone, our ability to feel supported, right? And because it's reversed, this tells me that, because this is the Miser card, right? So this is, I have my pentacles and I don't want to give them up. I don't want to give them up, right? They say, normally, right, when we're dealing with this in reverse. But this tells me that you're not willing to open up a part of yourself emotionally, or willing to give 100% of yourself to a certain person or a situation of some kind, okay? I can't believe my cat is crying like this, guys, and I refuse to turn the camera off, so I'm just going to go let her in. 1 second. Right back. Okay, I'm back, and she's probably going to walk across the spread. Okay, here she comes. Okay, Lexi, later, honey, okay? All right. I'm so sorry, Leo. Okay. So this tells me that you're in a space of not feeling 100% comfortable with really letting yourself go, right? Full throttle to a situation. Yet at the same time, you have this incredible will. This is a new will that you feel. This isn't something that you've been feeling over time. This is you waking up and saying, you know what? I want things to be different. I want my life to be different. I have a new perspective on things. I want to push things forward in this way. This is another fire energy. This is more about fire and a will to move forward. This is more will, heavy will. But again, you want to be careful of that ego and not being too aggressive in this energy. That's just a little caveat with all of this. While it's wonderful that you're going to have the energy supporting you moving forward, there's always that caveat of aggressiveness and a little bit of out of control ego. So you just want to watch out for that. But I love the fact that you have this will to move forward, because this is what you want. You want this Four of Wands energy. You are ready for it. You're really ready for it. You are ready for a strong foundation that you can build on. You have no illusions. You understand that whatever you're coming out of, if you're still staying in it, right? you're understanding that it hasn't been very healthy up to this point, and you need to work on building a strong foundation. And you have the will to do it. You have the will to do it, because this is what you know you need. You understand you haven't arrived yet. You understand that. For many of you, this is a space of actually starting over. In a relationship, in a job, finding a new friend circle. But this is you tapping into really identifying what you need and you being able to go for it. But there is an element here. There is still very much this element of you not wanting to give all of yourself to a situation. And I just feel that this is going to end up really not working for you. As then we have over here, with the bottom of the deck energies, we have this King of Wands reverse. And this is all about stubbornness and ego and not wanting to take those steps forward. Like, you have the desire, but the fear is holding you back. So it's like this tug of war internally within yourself. And I feel like this King of Wands energy is metaphorical for things that happened in your past that you don't want to repeat. So in a way, you're being so super cautious that it's creating a situation where, in one way or another, in some element of your life, there's a little analysis paralysis going on. And you're holding on to this thing in the past that needs to be let go. And I do feel like that this is the devil energy for a good majority of you. You know, sure, some of you may be battling with some sort of addiction, okay? Because in the most basic level, the devil does represent addiction. So this can be substance abuse. This can be any kind of self-medication, right? So it could be drugs, could be alcohol, could be sex, could be shopping, could be food, right? Anything where you're just doing something to busy yourself, to just keep yourself from feeling and to keep yourself in this space of a high, right? Because you guys are feeling very in your ego, which is actually a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's very good to feel because our egos are very important, right? To our psychological health. And it's not a negative thing to be in that, but you're very high in your ego right now and you want to keep feeding it. You want to stay in that space. So that's where a lot of self-medication can come in. Now, for others of you, this could be nothing to do with that, but you being very stuck in a negative mindset because of something that's happened in your past, where you're not willing to I really want to move forward. I know exactly what I want for my life. I have all the ingredients that I need to make it happen, but I have this thing holding me back. And it's this unwillingness to let it go. The unwillingness to let it go could be because you're not ready to let it go. Maybe you're still in love with someone. You're not ready to let a relationship go. You haven't gotten over losing that job. You haven't gotten over losing that dear friend. You haven't gotten over not being in touch with certain members of your family. Anything that feeds your heart space, you not being willing to let it go. And that's going to keep you in a very low vibrational energy. And it's going to keep part of yourself locked up. And that part that's going to be locked up is going to be very challenging if you really want to have this Knight of Pentacles working for you, where you have this, beautiful energy coming in, wanting to feed your headspace, wanting to really feed your resources, your emotional space, your psychological space. Just make very tangible changes in your life. Like, if you are still holding on to someone from the past, Leo, you're not opening yourself up to meeting somebody new. You're just not opening up the options for yourself in the deepest part of yourself. And that's like putting a do not enter sign on your forehead, right? So you really want to be careful of that and understand that temperance needs to be exercised right now. Because the temperance card is all about mixing different elements to create something new, different, and beautiful. So it's mixing one set of ideas with another set of ideas to come up with a new way of thinking or being. This is not about you shoving all of your past pains in the back of your closet. This is you recognizing what you've been through, extracting the lessons, recognizing what's in your life today, understanding where it is that you want to go, and mixing them together and being grateful for the lessons that you learned instead of being angry or bitter about it. That's not going to apply to everyone. This is a general reading, okay? But there are a healthy handful of you that are still feeling that, even though you don't want to feel that. First of all, forgive yourself if you're feeling that way. It's not against the law to feel bitter for a little bit. It's not against the law. It's part of the human condition, okay? So just have compassion for yourself. You've been through a lot. A dark night of the soul time period is not easy. Absolutely, it's tough. But I do feel like you're coming out of it. And I really like that. I like that because then we have the Empress energy. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is you getting into a space of saying, you know what? I don't want to hold back this attainment for myself anymore. With this Nine of Pentacles reverse, Nine Pentacles is all about attainment in the tangible, right? In your resources, and feeling better mentally, and feeling better emotionally. And I'm just getting that after this Temperance energy, you're in a space where you're like, you know what? I'm like stuck in this space, and I'm going to make the decision to just not allow that to drive my life anymore. And you understanding the process, because the Empress is the mother, right? The Empress is all about, she's the mother of the tarot. So what do mothers do? Yes, mothers give birth, but they also nurture and cultivate, right, the child before giving birth. Is that 9-month-long process. It's not done in a day. There's a process to it. There's this seed that's planted, and then it needs to be fed and cultivated and nurtured to grow into something healthy before it can be born, right? And that's how our ideas and new paths that we create for ourselves, you know, and it's this understanding that it's going to take some time to build something, but you have everything you need to really start it happening right now, which I really like. This is great. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is working with this, okay? Because whatever you're cultivating, because it's happening over time, the Ten of anything in tarot, there's a gradual process to it. It's gradual, okay? So it's like one pentacle at a time. These are like building blocks, and you giving yourself a break, and you being willing to understand that things take time to be nurtured and cultivated. The problem that you're going to be battling, though, is how energized and fiery you're going to be feeling at this time. You're going to want it all to happen right now. And this, you know, this kind of duplicitous action that's going on, like, I want to go, but I can't. I want to go, but I can't. I know I have to wait. I have to work through this, but I can't. I want to go, you know, kind of thing. It's going to be creating, or it has created, a lot of anxiety, right? This is a 3 a.m. card, the things that wake us up in the middle of the night. Now, the thing is with this, the anxiety can be real, something external to you, something going on in your relationship, your family, with your children, if you have any, your job, whatever. Things could be happening in real time, in real life, that are concerning to you. But this is equally so things that you're worrying about that you may not have any place worrying about it, really, right? There's absolutely no benefit to staying up late at night and worrying about things, because in that moment, nothing can change. This shows me you, up to this point, having a very challenging time living in the moment. But because it's reversed, this does tell me that you're on the upward swing. You're not out of it yet, but you're on the upward swing. So you've gone through the most challenging part of it, right? But the anxiety, a period of anxiety, a period of depression, and this is very indicated with, as I mentioned before, this black night of the soul kind of time period where you're really trying to work through things. You're almost there. You're not there yet, because then we also have the Ten of Wands energy. And the Ten of Wands energy is, I'm getting for you, it's you, a couple of things, okay? For a number of you, this is going to be you very much still holding on to the past. Not wanting to admit you're holding on to the past, but nonetheless, internally, you are. You're trying to process past hurts, past misunderstandings, even if you were the one to end things, even if you were the one to quit a job, even if you were the one to walk away from a friend, anything like that, there's this burden that you're still carrying because you haven't worked through it. Now, for others of you, this is going to be you're just really freaking busy. You just really are. This is the multitasker card. This is, you have domestic responsibilities, issues with your children, your partner, work. You're all over the place. It's the catch-22 card as well, because you might be feeling like your work is just taking up way too much of your life. It's monopolizing your life, but yet you don't have time to look for another job because you're too busy working and taking care of everything else. And you're also in a space here of feeling like, you know what, I'm the only one who can do what I do. I have to show up for all my responsibilities, right? So this is where you're at, but the fact that it's reverse is telling me that a great majority of what you're carrying right now is more in your mind than in reality. That is what the reversal means here, which makes sense to me coming after this Nine of Swords card, because is everything that you're worrying about really happening to you right now? Is this going to be impacting your everyday right now? Is this something that you can actually wake up the next morning and proactively change? Probably not. You may be realizing that you're worried about things that have gone on already in the past, but yet you know what you need to do, but you're still holding on. But I do see you coming out of it. This shows me you coming out of it and having this fresh, new perspective on tangibly and pragmatically, what do I need to do to move my life forward? What do I need to do? Because you're right there. You're ready for it. You know exactly what you need to do. You're going to go after that new job. You're going to agree to start that new relationship. Many of you are going to be returning to relationships, and you're going to be ready to form a really solid emotional and psychological connection and foundation with this person. And this Knight of Pentacles is going to help you. I love the fact that you got both of these. This is beautiful. This is you realizing, I'm ready to go. And this is you doing it, right? This is you doing it, this Knight of Pentacles. This is beautiful. Because then we have, what do we have? Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups built up over time. This is you earning every single one of these cups. This is a path that you've been working towards, that you've wanted for a long time, that you just haven't been able to bring to yourself. But the obstacles are lifting in this energy. And this is all about love and attainment and fulfillment and a deepening of commitment, a deepening of relationships. Really beautiful. Deepening of partnerships of all kinds. Friends, business partnerships. This is projects that you're working on in work really coming to fruition in a positive way for you. You getting good news on a project or something that you submitted, you're going to be receiving good news on it. Many of you are going to be finding out that you got a job that you applied for. All good stuff. This is all good stuff. So while I feel this reading is completely beautiful as far as the energy, the fire that's necessary, right, to move things forward. There's a lot of will here. There's a lot of will. There's also a foot in the past. And I'm going to ask you, Leo, to please be kind to yourself and understand that we have trines happening. We're going to have the full moon. Okay, again, the full moon in Aquarius is going to be a little wonky for relationships, okay? Even the 16th Mercury in Leo square Uranus and Taurus can bring some jostling to the energies here. Just understand that we have trines coming. We have a Mercury in Leo trine Jupiter and Sag, right? We have all this beautiful Leo energy here. And this is a beautiful time for really pushing things forward. That's hitting on August 21st. And then the 24th, we have Venus in Virgo conjunct Mercury in Virgo. And that's about just recognition of things. Just putting a stop on the ego and just recognizing what's really going on. So I really like that, because I feel like that's what's happening in here with the Empress energy and the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. This, hold on a second, you know what? I really want to make changes in my life. I know exactly what I need to do. I need to get out of my way. I need to get out of my own way. is that we have other things. We do have Venus in Virgo conjunct Mercury in Virgo. I forget if I said that already. And then we have, I think that's on the 24th. Yeah, and then on the 26th, we have Venus in Virgo trine Uranus and Taurus. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Getting some really good news on August 26th, some new information, some important information. The 28th, Mars in Virgo trine Uranus and Taurus. Another great day to receive some great information. And then we have the new moon at almost 7 degrees of Virgo on that 30th, right? So, new moon wishes, for sure. And then the 31st, going into the 1st, depending on where you live, we have Mercury in Virgo trine Uranus and Taurus, and Venus in Virgo trine Saturn and Capricorn. So that's a lot of surprises there. Positive news coming in at the end of this period. Positive news. Positive news. So keep yourself open and try to get in touch with the parts of yourself that you're still keeping a couple of toes in the past. And just understand, if it's over, it's over. If you feel like it can be rebuilt, then you have to be aggressive in trying to rebuild it. But sitting still should not be an option for you in this energy, because you're not going to be seeing energies like this, where you're going to be able to manifest like this, Leo, for a long time, for at least another year and a half, like on this level. So you really want to use this energy and push yourself forward. All right, Leo, that is what I have for you guys. Until next time, you guys take care. Bye-bye.